Hello everyone, so in this tutorial I'm gonna show you how to install and use Alien Worlds. So once you bought the add-on, you just go to Edit, then Preferences, and then Add-on. Then you click on Install and you locate the zip file. Then you press on Install Add-on. I have a few one because I was testing things out, but this one. You just have to check that little box here. And then we're ready to go. So we're gonna press N to access the End panel until we locate Alien Worlds, and first things first, we're gonna press the refresh button. So once this is done, we are presented with the UI of the add-on. We are going to select a preset with the arrows, or you can just click the image in the center to select the preset. You can choose presets from terrestrial, gas giant, to a sun, to stars, or a black hole. For this tutorial, I'm gonna choose Addon. As you can see, the name and the type is displayed here. We can choose world origin or 3D cursor, and then you just click on generate. Then you have a planet in your viewport, which is going to zoom out a little bit. We're going to switch to rendered view, and don't forget to change your engine to cycles. Next, we're going to add a sun. I'm going to position it here, and we're going to rotate it a little bit. Next, with the eyedropper, we're gonna click on it and then we're gonna select the sun so that the atmosphere will position itself accordingly. I recommend cranking up the strength to 8 and the angle to 15 to have a nice fall off for the atmosphere. Next, we're gonna check this little checkbox here for space environment. And as you can see, we're in space. So you have a few options there. You can change the strength. I always leave it to 1. You can also change the star seed. We can also add a sun disk, and we have a few options down there. It doesn't look like much in the viewport, but with some glare, it starts to look nice. Then we can add more stars. We have a few options down there, such as red stars. I'm just gonna crank up the strength a little bit so you guys can see it better. Like 3, yeah. So as you can see, we have some red stars here and there. It's the same thing for the blue stars. So now we have some blue stars. And we can also add some outer stars. Next, we can add some gas. So as you can see, here's the gas. We can change the seed and the intensity. I'm just gonna put back the strength to 1. And we can change the color. And the last option is the nebula. So that's my favorite one. It's really cool. There's a few options down there. We can change the seed. We can change the hue. We can also change the saturation, contrast, the scale, and the distortion. So that's it for the space environment, and now we're going to customize the planet. If you guys notice, if I select the sun, it will say select an Alien Worlds object. So you have to select a planet or anything that was in Alien Worlds in the first place to have access to that menu. So once you select the planet, you have access to the controls down there. So you'll be able to customize the surface, the atmosphere, the clouds, add some rings, and add a moon. So let's start with the surface. So let's say I want to add an ocean, so let's do it. So here's some water. Then we can change the continent seed. So there we go, we have some water on our planet. So we can change the noise modulation, the continent distortion. We can change the noise scale. We can also change the continent modulation, which really changes the appearance of the planet. We can also change the coast's modulation, add some details, and play with the land bump strength. You can also change the color palette. You can change the color blend, and you have also access to the saturation, color variation, see the hue, the contrast, some ambient occlusion when you have some cloud, and some coat weight. We can also add some rivers. So you can change the seed, you can change the river amount, and you can also change the distortion and the thickness. Next, we can add some craters. There's already craters on this planet, so you can change the color, the seed, the bump strength. We can also add some cracks. You can change the color, the seed, and the scale. We can also add some city lights. Now the intensity is set to 0, but as soon as you crank it up a little bit, the lights will start to light up the dark side of the planet. We can also play with the poles. We already have some poles on it, but we can add a lot more to it, so they cover the entire planet. We can add also some snow. We can also choose to have the ocean iced. So you have the control on the color, the cracks color, the thickness, distortion, if it's jagged, the roughness, and the land bump strengths, and so on. We can also add some lava, but first of all, we're gonna turn off the oceans because it makes no sense to have oceans and lava, to my opinion. Whatever, I'm not an astrophysicist, but yeah, turn off the rivers and the ocean, and then turn on the lava. And also, I always turn off the snow because I think it would melt if there's lava. So you can change the lava seed, the intensity, the scale, the seed, and the amount. So that's it for the surface. So I'm just gonna turn off the lava. And now next is the atmosphere. So as you can see, the atmosphere is playing a big role in the shading of the planet. We can change the color. You can change it to whatever you like. Then the thickness. Then the brightness. Don't put it too high because it's gonna play around with the absorption. We can also play with the fall off a little bit. Next, we have the irradiance, which really adds a lot of realism to the atmosphere. So if it's 0, it's going to be off. If it's 1, it's going to be on. And this adds this shading, this orange shading that we see when the sun is setting down. Next, we have the clouds, so we only have to take that on. So we have control over the color, the seed, the amount, scale, the distortion. Yeah, I'm gonna add a camera and just to make a nice frame for this planet. So yeah, back to the clouds. You can change, as you can see, the color to whatever you like. The seed, like I said, the amount. I'm gonna turn that off because that's what's most expensive for your graphic card. Next, we have the rings, so we just have to take that on. The inner radius is set to 0 by default, so I just have to crank that up a little bit, and then you have some rings. So you can change the outer radius, you can change the mesh scale. We can also play with the rotation on the X, Y, or Z axis. We can change the color. We can also play with the emissive intensity and the volume intensity. So that's it for the rings. And lastly, we can add a moon. Oh, so where is it? Oh, it's on the other side, right there. So we can change the scale and the offset on the X, Y, or Z axis. And we can change the moon rotation angle. I recommend going to the geometry node because we can change on which axis we are rotating the moon. So right now the X, Y, and Z axis are checked. You can uncheck whatever axis you like and then move the moon to your liking. So that's it for the presentation of Alien Worlds. I hope you liked it. Thanks if you bought it. And feel free to email me if you have some suggestions, if there's some bugs you guys find, because I was alone developing it. So maybe I forgot a thing here and there. So feel free to let me know. I will gladly respond to you guys and try to make this add-on as best as it can be. And I will probably be working on a version 2 if this one is working and if you guys like it. And yeah, so thanks, guys. I hope you guys will enjoy it as much as I like doing it. And thank you. So that was FM3D, and have a good day. Thank you.